Hi, I'm Droolbatz. I watch a lot of horror movies, so I've developed a lot of opinions on them. And I thought I would share some for other people who are wondering, hey, should I watch this horror movie? So here goes. Today we're going to be reviewing the 2015 horror movie The Abandoned, sometimes called The Confines. It's one of those movies that has two names. We're going to be reviewing the premise, the quality of the film, like the acting, special effects, editing, things like that, just kind of like that, and then how it stands out or does not stand out among other horror movies. So here we go. So the premise of The Abandoned is a pretty common one in horror movies. It's common, but it's solid. That's why it's so common. She's like a young woman, like 20s, named Julia Streak, is beginning her job as a night shift guard at this gigantic old building. Takes up like 2 or 3 city blocks that was kind of basically like a city within a building. She's on antipsychotic medication, so when she goes in, she starts to get weird vibes, think she's hearing things, like, and she's gotta wonder, is it me, or is there something actually here? She meets with this older guy, he's not that old, but he claims I've been here since the beginning of time, but he doesn't look that old, honestly, named Dennis Cooper. He's the original night watchman, and there's cameras all around the building, and this guy, Dennis Cooper, he watches him on the monitor, and anytime anything looks weird, he sends the other person, in this case Julia, it's her first day, but whatever, out to like see what's going on. So it's a 2-person job. It seems, sidebar, I would have more people than just 2, but whatever. If I were hiring, I would hire more than 2 people for that. But anyway, the guy who's introducing Julia around is saying like, oh yeah, a lot of people, they only make it like a week, so, hope you're with us for the long haul, which is immediately suspicious, right? Okay. Dennis Cooper doesn't think Julia will last at all. He's like, bah, you'll be here 1 week. You'll be here a day. Meh. Kind of rude, mean older guy. As the film goes on, and Julia has to like venture out and like reset some of the cameras because of electrical issues and things like that, it's just, they're getting the vibe that they are not alone in this giant building. So that's the premise. It's a very common one in horror movies, like, am I alone in my house? Am I crazy, or is there something here? It's very common. But it's solid. You can do a lot with it. And I think this movie did. It wasn't particularly standout in that way, but I thought the movie was really high quality in other ways. Whoever edited it and filmed it did a really, really excellent job of making use of the atmosphere of the building they were filming in. They really captured the grandeur and the terrifying nature of the abandoned building. So that was really great. It didn't have a lot of jump scares, which is good, because, you expect jump scares in a movie, but they didn't do that too badly, which I thought was great. It was a very tense, suspenseful movie. The script seemed fine to me, and the acting was very good. So yeah, I would say it was high quality in that way. Now we're going to talk about how it stands out or blends in. This is kind of a spoiler for the film, so if you do plan on watching this movie, maybe bow out. I'll give you a minute. Okay, talking about how this movie stands out or blends in, kind of, I call it the twist, because, most movies have a twist nowadays. And, basically Julia discovers that this giant abandoned building was used as like an orphanage for deformed and like mentally ill children. They were very badly abused, and many of them died in this place, in the basement or something, in this door that is locked. And the children, the ghost children, are like, come back, and it implies she was there too, which is like, what? Basically, as Julia is trying to escape getting attacked by all these children and like whatever, these ghost children, and they're trying to attack Dennis, it's revealed that this entire movie is in her head, and her name is Julia still, but she's got this huge facial deformity, and she's been in a hospital for like years of her life, and she just imagined this because she's kind of in a coma or something. It's like a dream. Oh gosh. It's like a dream or something that she's had, and Dennis is her dad, and he's come every day to check up on her, and him being gruff is him being gruff at the doctors and stuff. You kind of knew this was going to be coming. Like, you kind of knew this because it was foreshadowed well, I guess you could say, because when Julia is trying to figure out why there are these ghost children, there's this deformed girl who walks up to her, and Julia doesn't know this girl, but she walks up and hugs her and goes, "It's not your fault. Like, it's okay. None of this is your fault," and like hugging her, and you're like, Julia doesn't have a facial deformity, but clearly she looks at this girl as herself. So the ending was predictable, in my opinion. It just wasn't super, I don't know. The ending twist was just really strange. It didn't really explain why she had this crazy hallucination, and it kind of like all this like concern you'd had for Julia as she's running around the building kind of is just gone away, because you're like, oh, she's just imagining it. Well, everyone has nightmares, you know. So I don't know, like, it was definitely a twist, but it was kind of predictable, and I've seen this twist before. It's done frequently in horror movies that they just imagine the whole thing. They're actually like in a crazy house or whatever. In this case, she was just a coma patient, but you know, if you watch a lot of shows like Criminal Minds, which aren't necessarily horror movies, but there's a lot of people there who are living in an altered state of reality and are perceiving things completely different as what they're happening in real life, as how they're happening in real life. And that's just kind of, it's not a unique trope in my opinion. So I thought The Abandoned kind of blended these two not particularly unique tropes together. So I don't know, altogether the quality of the filming and such was high. I don't know, I thought they made really good use of the location, and the acting was solid. Premise was not particularly unique in any way, which is okay, but they didn't really add a new spin to it either. Like, sometimes you're like, well, this premise is old, but, you know, they really twisted in the end, and it's unique. This movie didn't really do that in a meaningful way, so I would say it's maybe 3 out of 5 stars. I don't really have a right to rate things, but I'd rate it 3 out of 5. It was a good watch. I wouldn't, you know, give it an award or anything, but yeah, hope you like it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this helps you decide if this movie's worth watching.